I can't say enough about the effort that has gone into changing hotels to, arranging transportation for us to be here, at the different venues. This is going to be a great convention.
The American citizens that were 18 years and over were made to sign a questionnaire to state whether they would be faithful to this country or not. It was a loyalty questionnaire. Everyone called it question 27, question 28. It was worded something to the effect,
will you be loyal to this country?
What is the justification of the government bringing questionnaires such as that into these barbed wire encampments where we were protected, when we didn't ask to be protected, when we didn't feel we needed to be protected? They looked upon us as enemies of this country, and yet they dared to bring in this type of questionnaire, asking us all to sign these questions saying,
will you be faithful and loyal to this country?
How could we be anything but?
The Book of Names here has 125,284 names, but it's just their names. And a lot of people have asked us, hey, we want to know which camps Grandma went to. So we've created in the online site, there's already a beta version that's up. I think maybe some of you have even seen. It's called www.ideaison.com. It's still in beta mode, but in October of this year we'll officially launch it. But you'll see that you can see a plaque with the name, the birth year, not for the birthday, out of privacy, but birth year, and then all the camps that individual was incarcerated in.
A 10th grade English class, which was a pre-AP English class, the teacher had recommended a book called When the Emperor Was Divine by Giulio Tsuka. This was actually not a new book. This was published in the year 2000. And what it really was, the first work by this author. It's been awarded a variety of things, including in the neighboring, very conservative area of Waukesha, things as a book award, and has never run into any problems or questions. But it was immediately questioned in this curriculum committee, which was reconstituted after the election to include some of the board members that were newly elected. And it's relatively rare for board members to sit on a faculty-run curriculum committee. But there were objections led to this book. They said that it was very one-sided because it was written by a Japanese American, so it didn't tell the other side. Although it wasn't clear what the other side was.
So this was an initiative of our education committee. So their mission is kind of to go around and tell the history of the Japanese American history in general, the wartime incarceration, but then also our local history in Minnesota. So we're not like the West Coast that has a historical community of direct immigrants. We're kind of a community that sprang up primarily after World War II when individuals resettled there. And a lot of individuals kind of got exposed to Minnesota by being a part of the MIS and being at Fort Snelling and Camp Savage. Historically, we've had several members who go around to high schools and things of that nature to share the stories, but as they've gotten older, we want to figure out, well, what's next? Who's going to tell these stories in the next 10, 20, however many years? So in a very kind of forward-thinking way, they organized a session where they would teach people how to, first figure out your story, questions to ask about your relatives while you still have the chance, how to document that. And then we had our current speakers, one of them, Sally Sudo, who was incarcerated at Minidoka. She gave her family story. So we have an example. What does this look like? How do you tell this? How do you turn your personal experiences and family experiences into something that's meaningful and tells more of the community history? My perspective is actually being a participant of this program. I took the workshop as they were given, and it was really incredible. Since things were done on Zoom, we could also record it. So we have recordings of our workshops. we don't have to offer this workshop every year. People can still just learn it on their own. But there's also, some, I guess, softer benefits, like things that are more difficult to quantify, but we engaged our membership in a very new and profound way that we hadn't before. So a lot of people who were peripherally involved with the chapter now feel a much stronger connection. By engaging with their own family history, they feel a stronger connection to the community. And then we also have some people who, they're not going around to classrooms and telling stories, but they have their own ideas of what to do. So one of our workshop participants became very active with our social justice committee now.
Fantastic. So notice what Vinny talked about too toward the end was how it's really engaged the members even further, right? Building that community through this project.
I was an artist fellow at the Japanese American National Museum, so it's really nice. I did a lot here. It was great. I spent a lot of time here. So it's nice to be home, and whether you travel to be here or this also feels like home for you, awesome. I'm glad we're here together. But in this workshop session, the most viral way to put it is I'm going to argue in favor of cultural appropriation.
What kind of issues are impacting the communities from where you come from here? And I know that people come from certain communities that are experiencing some of the same struggles as Los Angeles. I know that there are some people who are here from Philadelphia, and we know that the Pittsburgh Penguins have been actively working to plant a big ass stadium right in the middle of Chinatown.
We think of the youth because we come from our past. These are the faces, these are the voices, these are the hearts and minds of our future. You invest in them. The video that we saw of our elders who have passed on, they look like them so many years ago. Have the vision to invest in them so they can grow old like us. So they can grow old like our elders and carry on the legacy of what it means to be a citizen in this great nation of ours. To hold.
And I'm coming to you live as I hit you with the everybody say ho ho oh J-A, you say C-L-J-A J-A woo there you